I started a breeding project over a year ago. That project is now finally completed. Shout out to the One Big Family bottleneck project and the strange editing I had going on in that first video. A bottleneck turns 32 dragons into one survivor, a dragon who's not related to any active dragons on Flight Rising. We have that final worm standing. Meet Atum, a grayscale imperial boy. He's all that remains of his lineage. An entire den's worth of dragons gave their lives for him to rise. He is related to every other dragon that took part of this process. It's possible he gets his basic primary gene from his great-great-great-grandmother, Enter the Matrix. Every part of him is attributable to all 32 dragons he descends from. If that first generation were active today, he would be able to breed with any of them. He's essentially a Generation 1 dragon. This entire process was recommended by Wobblegong on Tumblr. As far as I can tell, I'm the first person to complete the bottleneck challenge. If I'm wrong, let me know. I started the One Big Family project with the question in mind, what do you do when you run out of things to do? Since then, I've found plenty to keep me occupied on Flight Rising. I still like playing with the game's breeding capabilities, but my game's philosophy changed. The second video installment, released in October, had some insight to my game outlook. I wanted to have a 3-page lair of well-gened, high-leveled bottleneck or other breeding challenge dragons. I agree with my point that I'd rather have a small and curated lair than a large random lair, but I think I've found some middle ground. It's possible to have a large lair full of dragons that make me happy, that don't all look the same. Instead of always trying to have better offspring to justify exalting the parents, I'm trying to focus on appreciating the dragons I already have. I want to develop characters and designs around my favorite dragons. To do that, they have to stick around for a while. This is something that I have to work on and will keep you guys updated. So what does Atum's life look like now? I'm not going to manually gene him. His ancestors decided he was going to be basic, and that's how he's going to stay. His path in life may be influenced by another bottleneck project I have ongoing. I have a bottleneck of the long-standing lineages in my lair. It's down to the final 6 dragons. Tomorrow that number will be 5. I mentioned the possibility of breeding the final dragon of that process with Atum in a previous video. Only time will tell if they're compatible. And if they are, what does that mean? Am I going to bottleneck the final dragons from bottleneck challenges? That's just excessive. But maybe that's not such a bad idea. Feeding into that train of thought, we have a viewer's choice bottleneck challenge in the works. Last time, I asked you guys to choose between Sparklewing and Shiny Trial. Only one can survive, and that survivor is Sparklewing. Sorry, Shiny Trial. Literally no one voted for your survival. This time, we have a Batman versus his sister, Amama. Pick which dragon should survive, a Batman or Amama, by clicking on them in this poll. Thanks for watching through to this point. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and check out these 2. My first bottleneck video had some interesting editing choices and set the scene for this breeding project. Check that out here. Or, if you want to host your own bottleneck challenge, I made a how-to guide. Watch that video here. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more like it. Bye!